This Action News Jax Family Focus Special is presented in part by Publix Supermarkets, ViStar Credit Union, Bozard Ford Lincoln, and Wolfson Children's Hospital. A new school year brings new opportunities.
Why not bring that same energy to the classroom? Why not jump and clap and hop and sing about learning?
But also new challenges.
You never know exactly which student may be hiding that they are having some difficulties.
The focus, quality education for all.
We're going to be giving every effort, energy that we have to ensure that the students have the best learning environment that they can have.
Hi, I'm Phil Amato. Welcome to Back to School with Action News Jax.
I'm Dawn Lopez. I know it's true in my house, there's no bigger event for local families than going back to school. From getting books and supplies to preparing our children for the academic and social challenges ahead.
And I'm Romney Smith. We're here to bring you important information to get you ready for that big day. 5 local districts are now back in school, all of which are in southeast Georgia. On Thursday, 7 more counties kick off their school years. Next week, 3 more schools begin, including Duval County.
Right now, the Duval County School District is in the process of replacing former Superintendent Dr. Nikolai Vitti, who left for the same job in Detroit.
For the moment, the district is being led by Interim Superintendent Dr. Patricia Willis.
Action News Jax anchor Tanika Hughes sat down with Dr. Willis exploring several major issues for students this school year.
First of all, Dr. Willis, thank you so much for sitting down with Action News Jax. We really appreciate it. Let's talk about teacher shortages. I know that's a national issue, and I know it's something that Duval County Schools has worked to address in the past.
And I think this has been an ongoing process for the Human Resources Department, the HR department. They have a plan of how they actually go and recruit, and there are sometimes staff participates in that, principals participate in that, and what they're looking for. So there is a plan of recruitment. As a matter of fact, they've been doing a pretty good job of getting numbers of teachers in. One of the goals that the board mentioned was retention. So holding on to those teachers, because the research kind of shows us that within a novice teacher, within the first 1 to 3 years, that is the most fragile time and where they need the greatest supports.
I know that the district has always looked for ways to tackle bullying and violence, guns in schools, and a lot of that goes back to addressing the mental and emotional needs of students and their families. And I understand that you guys have programs in place and even teacher training to address that. Absolutely.
So with our culture climate department, or where we handle discipline, we actually identified a new staff member to go in to take over that role, a past principal who really has the eyes of what it looks like in the school, and he knows some of the challenges that those students face. But in working in his department, that we push out to schools those programs. So how do we support kids who might feel unsafe? Or what do we do as far as bullying is concerned? So there are programs so that students have access to individuals within the school, and then from there to the district, and even as a community. If students know within that building that there's a caring adult who I can touch because I may feel unsafe or I have a concern, then that's going to be how one of the main ways that they would get help. And so that we ask us to pay attention to students that may be quiet or may have something going on differently with them.
What is it that you want parents to know going into this school year with you at the helm?
Well, they can be confident that I am committed to continue to move our district forward with the improved academic achievement that we see, that we want safe, healthy environments for their children. I'm going to be working with our principals in schools in order to do that, and they can know that we're going to be giving every effort, energy that we have to ensure that the students have the best learning environment that they can have for our 17-18 school year.
Perhaps the biggest impact to all Florida students this year comes in the form of a new law over the funding of education. Critics say it moves money away from some of the poorest public schools to fund charter schools. The new law targets schools that receive a grade of a D or F in back-to-back school years. Those schools would be forced to shut down and would give incentives to charter schools to open up in their place. Supporters argue the bill would provide more funding for charter school students and students in poverty-stricken areas, giving parents more choices. School board member Becky Couch says that's not the case.
There's also a measure where we're going to have to share our capital funding, which is property tax revenue, with charter schools.
Two local schools are on the chopping block in Duval County, Matthew Gilbert Middle and Northwestern Middle. But school leaders say the fight isn't over.
There won't be charter schools next year. Right. They are still our traditional public schools.
So far, the state hasn't told the district to shut them down. School board member Becky Couch says there's still hope they'll exist beyond 2018.
We think they're all going to go up to a C based off the data that we've seen.
The law also sets new rules for recess at elementary schools. It mandates they set aside 20 minutes each day for children for free play recess. The only exception, charter schools don't have to follow the rule.
We're at Liberty Pines Academy, a K-8 school that turns 9 years old this month. This year, the district will open a new elementary school, Picolata Crossing. That's off Passetti Road in the World Golf Village area. The two-story building has 110,000 square feet of space and includes 43 classrooms. That's big enough for just under 900 students. Next year, 2 more schools will open. Sky Action News Jax is giving us a look at both, which are under construction now. Those will both be K-8 schools, which will help ease overcrowded classrooms in northern St. Johns County. The new schools will be in Nocatee and Aberdeen.
Still to come on Back to School with Action News Jax. Hundreds of students going to school without vaccinations.
A non-immunized child is very, very vulnerable.
Which local schools are most at risk? Plus, the fear of student suicides.
You never know exactly which student may be hiding that they are having some difficulties.
How school districts are building up students' emotional well-being. You're watching an Action News Jax family-focused back-to-school special, presented in part by Public Supermarkets, ViStar Credit Union, Bozard Ford Lincoln, and Wolfson Children's Hospital.
More than 1,000 local children went to school last year without required vaccinations to protect against deadly diseases.
An Action News Jax investigation discovered a large number of parents are opting out of immunizations despite overwhelming scientific evidence that they prevent outbreaks.
Action News Jax' Letitia Barriola dug into the numbers and uncovered which local schools have the highest number of unvaccinated students.
Giovanna Ping's 3-month-old baby will grow up vaccine-free.
It's a personal choice.
The St. Johns County mom also stopped immunizations for her 5 other children, which is allowed under Florida law.
As long as we have that right to do that, then, we're going to exercise that right.
Ping tells me her Christian faith and conversations with her chiropractor led her to opt her children out. She also says she couldn't ignore the anti-vaccination claims she read online.
All of a sudden, they get the shot that they supposedly needed, and then within days, they had these horrible reactions.
Action News Jax poured through data from local school districts and found that in Duval County, out of 114,000 students, 992 students are not vaccinated, or less than 1%. But in St. Johns County Public Schools, out of nearly 38,000 kids, 806 students are not vaccinated, more than 2%. We went a step further, breaking it down by school. In Duval County, schools at the beaches, the South Side, and San Marco have the highest percentages of unvaccinated students. Topping the list, J. Allen Axon Elementary with 5% of its student body. In St. Johns County, Ponte Vedra Beach and areas of St. Augustine are ground zero for unprotected students. R.B. Hunt Elementary had the highest percentage of unvaccinated children, more than 8%, or 51 students unvaccinated.
Vaccines are God's gift to children.
Dr. Mobeen Rathor is chief of the Division of Pediatric Infectious Diseases and Immunology at Wolfson Children's Hospital. He says vaccines protect not only individuals but the entire community.
An unimmunized child in a school or in a community is not only themselves at a significant risk if the infection occurs, but they also increase the risk of the other people in the school.
Unvaccinated kids are the first at risk from an outbreak. It happened late last year when a person infected with measles visited Disneyland. The outbreak spread to Utah, Oregon, Arizona, Washington State, and Mexico.
A non-immunized child is very, very vulnerable.
Dr. Rathor says medical experts have proven vaccines to be safe again and again.
There is absolutely no evidence, let me repeat that, there is absolutely no evidence that vaccines cause autism. This has been studied over and over and over and over again.
The reason for the myth of vaccine-related autism came from a debunked British study. The study's author lost his medical license after failing to follow proper procedures, disclosing conflicts of interest, and other ethical violations.
Suicide is the third leading cause of death in adolescents and young adults. Many felt they had nowhere to turn. Many local school districts, including Clay County, are now investing in services to provide that help.
Peer pressure, trouble at home, changing bodies, and academics. Put them together and it can be overwhelming for kids.
Because you never know exactly which student may be hiding that they are having some difficulties.
Counselors tell me middle and high school students often struggle to get help when dealing with suicidal thoughts.
Some kids are pretty open and some kids are a little more guarded.
Add in social media and the dynamics of being a preteen or teen get even more complicated.
It's like they don't think they can turn it off.
School leaders say social media plays a role in how students think of themselves and develop a sense of self-worth.
Kids need help with understanding that does not make or break you as a human being, that just how many likes you have doesn't mean that you are not liked and not loved and not cared for.
By investing in a student's emotional well-being, school leaders in Clay County tell me they hope to set students up for success both in class and in life.
In Nassau County, a local program is working to keep students fed on the weekend. The Snack Pack program successfully served more than 300 students last year, but now money is coming up short. Action News Jack's Caitlin Channa explains the problem.
We really are lacking at least $25,000 to be able to continue the program.
The Snack Pack program through Barnabas helps children in Nassau County schools focus on their studies and not their growling stomachs.
And you're wondering, okay, am I going to have dinner when I get home tonight? Where is their mind? It's not on what the teacher is teaching.
Children who qualify for this program will get about 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of nutritious food options. That includes everything from fresh foods, protein-enriched meals, and snacks. This is a way to help bridge the gap between school holidays and weekends. They've only secured a $5,000 grant for this upcoming school year. Last year, with $30,000, they helped 300 kids. But to serve the 500 children identified in the school system as homeless, they need $50,000.
Coming up on Back to School with Action News Jax, creating a culture of learning.
If children learn from their mistakes, it teaches them more about the process.
A local educator shares what made her Duval County's Teacher of the Year. Plus, a host of hurdles for children with parents in the military.
Okay, how is this move going to affect your school or your chances for college?
How school districts are easing the transition. You're watching an Action News Jax family-focused back-to-school special, presented in part by Public Supermarkets, Five-Star Credit Union, Bozard Ford Lincoln, and Wolfson Children's Hospital.
Giving our children the best opportunity to succeed means getting them the right tools for learning.
School budgets pour millions into outfitting classrooms, but it often isn't enough. Several nationwide studies show as much as 90% of teachers dip into their own pockets to provide for their own students. The average teacher spends about $500 on supplies. 1 in 10 spends more than $1,000. That amounts to $1.6 billion nationally spent by teachers, not parents or the school system.
Supermarket chain Publix is trying to lighten that load on teachers and families with its Tools for Back to School program. For the past decade, Publix customers have donated tens of thousands of dollars to local organizations focused on serving our children and the classroom. During checkout, shoppers can donate to the cause, which will go to schools and charities to purchase supplies. The drive is currently underway through August 17th.
We have high praise for every teacher who dedicates their life to developing the minds of the next generation of Americans. Last year, one Duval County educator was recognized for her incredible work reaching students and their parents.
Okay, and where's your desk? Oh, no. No.
You don't have a
I
desk?
don't need a desk. No
Okay.
way. Desks force teachers to stay in one spot.
A few minutes with Latrice Brown and you realize this Andrew Robinson 4th grade teacher is unique.
I'm going to put up work that has mistakes, because mistakes, if children learn from their mistakes, it teaches them more about the process.
And the Jacksonville Public Education Fund noticed too. Out of 173 educators, this math and science teacher was crowned Duval County's Teacher of the Year at the 2017 Eddie Awards.
I thought, me?
And she's only been teaching 4 years. Her secret to success, connecting with every child in her class.
When you've got a relationship with your students, the academics then becomes a lot easier.
Brown graduated from Mandarin High and began working with children as a teen, running a fitness program.
I originally thought I wanted to be a lawyer, but when I started that job, I never left children since.
Brown's out-of-the-box approach to teaching creates a classroom environment, she says, that gives kids the freedom to move around and learn in the way that best fits them. She's also created a closed Facebook group for her class where she teaches live one-on-one on her own time.
The parent seeing me doing that for their child is very grateful as well. And it also teaches parents the same strategies I'm teaching so that they can help their children.
Give me just a success story.
Somebody had written him off before. Just in that relationship building and the culture that I built in my classroom, he realized that this was a safe space for him. I want to set you up for success in life.
Latrice Brown inspiring her students to learn and love it.
Thousands of children with parents in the military face unique challenges in everyday life and with their education. Helping them adapt, a special resource center designed just for them. Serving our country means being on the move. And for families, that means changing cities every 2 to 3 years. And it's never easy.
Okay, how is this move going to affect your school or your chances for college?
Clay County Schools has around 6,000 students with at least one parent in the military. When families are restationed in the Jacksonville area, they have a whole new system to get to know and a lot of questions. That's where the Military Resource Center comes in. Counselors help students understand academic expectations and work with other school systems to make sure that students don't fall behind.
They may walk across the stage at Fleming Island High School, but they may have a South Carolina or a New York diploma.
A new school means new friends. The Resource Center helps with that, too. It also bridges the gap when mom or dad is away on deployment. Camacho tells me these military-focused programs made the transition a little easier for his son and daughter.
Having a program or service like this available to us as a military service family is awesome.
It's support for our military kids so mom and dad can serve both family and country.
Still to come on Back to School with Action News Jax. Not enough teachers for students who speak English as a second language.
We went from an 11% increase to a 27% increase.
The new plan to bring local teachers up to speed. Plus, banking inside a classroom.
It's not a matter of if. We need to learn the information. It's just a matter of when.
How ViStar is connecting students with brighter financial futures. You're watching an Action News Jax Family Focus Back to School special, presented in part by Public Supermarkets, Five-Star Credit Union, Bozard Ford Lincoln, and Wolfson Children's Hospital.
This year, Duval County Public Schools is taking in 500 students who don't speak English fluently.
That's on top of the more than 6,600 English language learners already enrolled. As Action News Jax, Lorena Inclam reports, the number of teachers certified to educate them hasn't increased.
Pilot. What is a pilot?
Teacher Nicholas Oliveras focused his lesson today on words that begin with the letter P.
What is a pilot? That's an easy one.
Critical vocabulary for these young minds as they learn a whole new language.
The idea is that they hear as much English as they can.
Right now, there's a total of 36 different languages spoken amongst English language learners in Duval County, the most common of which is Spanish, with more than 60% of students speaking that language, followed by Arabic and then Burmese. Ingrid Carrillas is Duval County's ESOL director.
We went from an 11% increase to a 27% increase.
That rapid influx has led to a shortage of teachers certified to teach this special group. Right now, the district has 2,755 ESOL certified teachers, but it needs much more. In order to help beef up the ESOL teacher ranks, the University of North Florida has teamed up with the district to train more ESOL paraprofessionals to become ESOL certified. Olivera says teaching English language learners comes with major challenges. But in spite of that, he says teaching them has been the highlight of his career.
If they want to learn, they're well-behaved. I love ESOL kids.
Giving students the knowledge to excel in life goes beyond math, science, and geography. A financially literate young adult can avoid the mistakes that often set people back years. Five-Star Credit Union isn't just delivering that information, but also changing lives.
This was kind of the dream job.
Lindsay Ledford was thrilled that her first job out of college was at Five-Star Credit Union. But unlike most new employees, she already had 3 years' experience at Five-Star branches. Lindsay's career at Five-Star began with the high school branch program.
Students can come in and join their peers to learn some basics in finances.
Students train at real Five-Star branches, learning the ins and outs of banking with a paid summer internship program. Then they work inside school branches and spread the knowledge to classmates.
We get to do teller transactions, create accounts for new members, go out and market to all the students and teachers.
The program is now operating in 13 high schools and 6 different local school districts. Dozens have found careers with Five-Star, and many more go on to great careers equipped with a head start in finance. We want to thank the St. Johns County School District for letting us use Liberty Pines Academy as a backdrop for this special.
Remember, your full source for all back-to-school information is on actionnewsjax.com.
From all of us here at Action News Jax, we hope you have a safe and productive school year.
This has been an Action News Jax Family Focus Special.